Okay. Let's give the boys and girls some time, inshallah. Long but great day. Mm. Let's give the girls some time to. Okay. Hola. Girl, I'm so, girl, can you move from under, with your, move, do something, girl. You making my leg hurt. Move. You're not in trouble. I just need you to move a little bit. Hola. Hey. So listen, I don't know how long I'm going to keep you good people for, but I did want to, I'm saying this like everybody knows what I'm talking about. I don't know whether you saw the video or whether you were on the live, but long story short, I gave an update. And I'm just, well, technically I'm coming from McDonald's because they took me to McDonald's first. Because I was hungry, and now that I know Ramadan is over, I'm like, girl, but that's fine. So I'm coming, but beyond McDonald's, I'm coming from church, Bible study, and also my audition. And all I can say is it couldn't have gone better. It was great. You know what I'm saying? They were impressed by God's grace, like in the good way. You know what I'm saying? Not like in the good way. Like, okay. Because it was like, okay, this is all good. Because first I had a sit down interview, like where, why do you want to do this? Why this? Why this? Cool. That was easy for God. So, of course, I'm passionate about that. So that just rolled off my tongue. And then it was like, okay, well, before we go any further, first we got to hear you sing. So, of course, that happened. And then we just we started rehearsing. And from there, it just was like, okay, this day is this day is that, this day is that. And for Friday service, I will be opening up with, I forget the name of the song, but it was good because when we rehearsed it, it was easy. So he was like, I think this is going to be a good one for you, because he was like, listening to your voice, I feel like we can stretch you. So I think you can take the challenging things. So this song, I listened to it first. It was just really cool. Like I felt, what it was giving me? I'm not saying that this is what it is. It just made me feel in my mind. I'm like, this must be what it, because I had to train myself. I never had nobody giving me music to learn and lyrics like this. Like I normally am just learning on my own. And these are gospel songs that but you said, can you hear? Yeah, I told them, I pitched the idea about streaming to my audience, which they loved. I knew that they would, because I'm like, I would be shocked if they didn't, because it was such a pure idea that God sent to me that I'm like, something tells me they're going to like this idea. The point is you want to grow the church, and somehow I think this is a good idea. Well, anyway, so yeah, I will be opening up the service, accompanied by the pianist and whatever else is going to happen, because we do have, I think, a rehearsal on some other day. I don't know. But I'm just kind of overwhelmed and tired because, after the rehearsal, after the interview, audition, and rehearsal, then we spun into Bible study. And funnily enough, it was really strange. I was like, okay, God, I think I'm making all the right choices here through you, meaning I'm following you correctly. Okay. I'm like, let me flip this Bible to a page that will confirm what you're telling me to do here. But anyway, when I flipped it, it landed on Psalms. It landed on Psalms. And I feel like, to be honest, it's like I know these things, but it's like I told you I started reading the Bible during Ramadan towards the end. And I've heard a lot of Bible things, Christian things, but reading it from this Bible, like this particular one, because I didn't get to that in the other one that's my grandmother's Bible. But I'm just saying, it's like it was so distinct to my life. It felt like I wrote that from the past, ran to the future so that I would know that somehow on that I don't know how to that's I know that sounds crazy, but I'm telling you, it was just too much to say. It was just like saying things, and I was like, it's not that it's anyway, irrelevant. The point is what he what Bible study focused on was John section or chapter. I don't know how they break. I'm still learning. What is it? Section 1 through 9. Cut long story short, this thing was blind, and then he came and received healing from Jesus. Now, it was so many interesting things what I noticed about that because the blind person is one thing, but what stood out to me was that his surroundings. To me, had I would have got my vision, and then when I came to explain who did it, or like, oh my God, somebody did this for me, and they started telling me I was lying, and that first of all, they said that ain't even him. That's a different person who looked like him. Like, that's not even him. These what that shows you is these people who are your so-called friends or so-called community, they want you to play a role and they don't want you to grow. That is the truth. Like, it don't sound nice, but that's true. Because that's what that showed me. It just felt like everybody, when he was blind, he was a beggar. So that shows me you all overlooked him, but now all of a sudden he have some liberation, and y'all all want to flock down to him and give him the ninth degree over something where it's like, girl, you ain't no. For me, I would be like, you can ban me from the synagogue all you want to, because ultimately, if this man did give me back my sight, Miss Thing, clearly whatever you doing ain't the right thing. Because for all the times that I've been to this synagogue, I was blind. I stepped out to the farmland, got some mud thrown to my eyes, and now I can see. So to me, I wouldn't have cared what the Pharisees had to say, and I wouldn't have wasted too much time trying to convince them. And what it shows me is when people don't want to believe a truth and what you know to be true, girl, don't waste too much time trying to convince them of what is. You who cares if you want to accept it? That's the part that I think people get hung up on. If you don't accept it, it don't matter. The only time it matters is when it's a situation where it's a system of power. It's like, okay, they're abusing their power because or their opinions have consequences because you see what I'm saying? Because now that's connected to power, and then you see what I'm saying? So there's but in general, this situation, I'm like, girl. So, but anyway, so church was amazing. I had a great time. The church was beautiful. First of all, it was bigger than what I thought. I expected, if I don't know what I expected now that I know what it looks like, but I think in my mind, I was thinking like it was gonna be like a small house. I don't know what I thought. But when I pulled up, I'm like, this is a little bit bigger than what you kind of let on. Maybe it was just that picture was bad. I don't know. But it's not the biggest, let's be clear. It's like he should it wasn't small, not to me. But then again, I'm sure for Christians, they probably and even Muslims, any faith, everybody faith got huge buildings, you know what I'm saying? But to me, this was a good size. It's the perfect size for me to do this. And it gives me a chance to, on the ground level, help this person build this church up. Because I don't have to be there forever. I don't know that God wants me there forever. I think it's just to assist them with this. And I think I have, and that's what's so funny. When I was doing my interview and I was talking, I was just talking from the heart. And the pastor and the praise director, the praise director was trying to keep more of a straight face, but the pastor, who is the boss, he was over there just like smiling, like, what made you want to praise the Lord? How did you get like this? Is what he asked me. He was genuine. I really appreciated that. I think we're going to do great exploits, and I think it's going to be great for his congregation and his parishioners. And I think that, somehow, some weird cosmic way, it's almost like God took all of what I was saying and put it. It's just weird how, I'm not going to go back into that. But the point is, so Friday will be my first service and performance, and they do stream. What I'm thinking, yeah, they have a what's the word I'm looking for? Not a platform. I guess they do have a platform. That's not what I'm looking for, though. For lack of better words, they have a thing that they stream through. Um, and I'm just trying to think, how can we maximize? I'm like, okay, because if I only do it on their thing, that means that if you didn't see that episode, then you might not catch the service. Like if you didn't watch when I said, okay, here's the link and here's the time, then you may not know. So I'm thinking if I streamed it, or if there's some kind of way, because I just want to maximize the eyes on what these people are doing. I'm just thinking, how can we do that? Because then I told him too, I said, listen, I think this is perfect, even down to raising money. We can be creative. We don't have to just do the standard traditional tithe. I'm a recording artist. What does that mean? That means that I can write music and we can sell it, and the proceeds can go to the church for repairs. And then they had a daycare center in there, which was really nice. It was a nice little daycare. I'm just saying, like, I want to help these people. And I think that I can. I do. All I need is people to allow me to do what I have to do. Because that's what I told myself. I said, I'm looking at this. I said, if we do this right, you saying that it's a small church. The problem I'm seeing right now is that it's not going to be big enough. You don't know that yet because you don't know me and God, like the determination I have with God to do whatever I'm setting out to do. But in this, if you telling me I have some support, meaning I don't have to do everything and I can stick to the part that I'm great at, then I'm convinced that if you trust me, we can get the viewership up in this and we can get the word out. But you got to trust me. So they love the idea. That we got to figure out how we want to go ahead and do it. Like I said, because we got to sleep on that. But so far as doing a Christmas album, you know what I'm saying? A such and such church presents, you know what I'm saying? There are things we can do to creatively. And then guess what? But what I found out was this is a smaller church to a bigger church. Or maybe they have multiple churches. Who knows? Regardless, I'm like, I wish I would have asked him. I'm like, did you say that y'all be touring? I'm like, for the bigger church, if it's, and then that's what happened. So we're rehearsing and they're playing on the keyboard. And for some reason, I'm just channeling Whitney. Just like I was thinking, this must have been what it felt like with Sissy and Whitney when, you know what I'm saying? Like I felt like I was being taken seriously. And when they heard that I could sing, then they took me more seriously. And then the more seriously they took me, the more I warmed up. And then the more they started giving me like, ooh, maybe you can do this. Ooh, it was like the first time being taken seriously as a vocalist. And it felt great to like really have people sitting there being like, okay, what about this? What do you think about this? Can you do this? And like to consider me like, oh, I think you would be great on this song. And this is a song. And then when we sang it, actually, it was funny. I actually just ran away with it because he was playing on the keys and he started, but then once he started, I just kind of ran away with it because I just started, it just channeled to me. And he told me, he said, this is a song I think you'll enjoy because I think with your range, you can play with it and it's something you can really feel. And I think me trying to pick up on your pattern and all that, this I think will be good. Well, anyway, he definitely knew. I'm like, well, you must have good ear because once it started, I'm like, I can see why he thought that because he's right. This is exactly the type of song. I like songs where I can like really punch into it. Like you'll see once we do the service, but because we're opening the service with that song. So because he liked it so much when we just played it off the top, that imagine if we tighten it up, how it can get. So he played it and it was like, then we just kept going and going. And it was just like, and it was so good that some other church people who are like visiting from out of town to check in on this church, they came in, they went to take a picture. Oh, can we take a picture? It was just weird because it felt like, I don't know how to explain it. It was like, what is about to happen? I don't even want to I'm tired of thinking about it. I'm tired of thinking about it. And then God taking me a different way, but like doing it, but taking me a totally different way. It's like, why exhaust myself when I know he's going to do it? It's just going to be, I'm going to just be surprised. You know what I'm saying? Because who would have thought? I'm thankful because it's something that is totally up my alley. Like, I love gospel music, but I'm just being sincere. Like, who would have ever thought? Anyway, And now that means that I have a place to perform all the time. It's like it answered the call. So I'm happy with that. While I have to deal with this stuff with my house and, wait for, you know, somehow God is going to, it was just crazy. The passage that I was reading, it was like I wrote it in the past. It was just weird. I don't want to go into what it was saying because he was doing, he had, before Bible study started, he had I forget, is it devotionals? I don't know what you call that, where the music is playing in the background. It's just open up, yeah, nah, 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 and gospel music, but like but as I'm reading this and I'm just thinking about it, and it was just too identical to my life, and it literally was written in a way that I felt I would have said it. Like I feel like I have said that before. Certainly, I can't tell you the day or the time. I just know the things that I say and how I be talking to God. So as I'm reading it, it just was kind of making me feel strange at first. Cause I'm like, how can this be on paper if I never wrote this, but yet I know I thought it. And plus this is gotta be thousands of years old. And yet, so it was just like, that's when I knew it was God, because I'm like, I already knew that it was God, but I'm just saying that's when it was just like, I just started like crying because it was just so emotional for me. I'm like, you got the music going. Then I'm just being like accepted into this situation. Then, you give me all this music to learn, you know what I'm saying? And then it's like, you're checking my availability. Like, well, you better do this, we better do. Like, all I ever wanted to do was sing and do this. I don't want to get emotional. As far as my personal, you know what I'm saying? And then to serve God's people and to be in this position, I just want to do a good job and make sure that I represent God the right way and in a way that is pleasing. That's the main objective here. Hold on. What did I do? Oh, did I leave it outside? Whew. I just want to come. I'm not going to hang too long with y'all. I just want to come real quick to let y'all know kind of what's going on. I cannot wait for service on Friday. I got to get to work, though. I'm learning these new songs. You know what? I'm glad I called legal aid. I mean, I had already called them, but I'm glad I figured it out. I'm hoping I can really get me a lawyer for real through them, because this case should be, for a competent, confident lawyer, it shouldn't be hard if they know what they're doing and knows how to file and knows when to object and all them other things. But it's good because now I feel like once I get that lawyer and I can start with this church, I can just focus on the church, and I have to be thinking about doing the church, working this legal case. I can let them do more of that and not have to sit there and handle that. Excuse me. Today was such a good day. And then it was like, it was funny because the man started to say something, the praise director, basically to say like, oh, a lot of people don't like to rehearse. I'm like, I know I'm that rare person. I'm like, you don't know this yet, but I'm not like everybody else. I'm the rare person who wouldn't mind rehearsing for hours. I like to rehearse and to make sure shit is on point. Because he was saying like he thought I was gonna be like, oh, rehearsal, girl, please. I like to hear how it's gonna sound, and like I said, you could see because them ladies, it was like, oh my god, can we get a picture? I'm from DC and I'm coming out of New York. Where she say she's from New York? But it was the energy. Oh, you know, your voice is so beautiful, and it was nice to feel that without it being like people feeling like they trying to make you think you can't sing when you know you can. They was like, oh my god. I'm like, see, trolls will never win because you couldn't stop me from moving forward, but ultimately you still don't have talent, and I done moved to a whole new area, and you trying to be me is late, it's tired, and it was never amusing. Napkin. So yeah, I'm not gonna hold y'all, you good people, too long. I just, like I said, wanted to give you a quick little update, let you know everything went. It literally could not have gone better. I mean, they took the time to really let me get comfortable, and I mean, he was like, yeah, I feel like with your voice, because at that point I hadn't hit no high notes, but he just thought maybe I would be able to. He was like, I'm thinking with your voice, you probably can, take it up a whole, what did he say? A whole key, a whole octave, something, whatever he said. He was like, so I want to give you something like that because I think that would be good for your voice to just. And he was like, and with this song that I'm thinking you should do, he was like, with this, there's a lot of pockets in there for ad libs that I think you would do good with. And then when he started, he was clearly totally right, because as soon as he started playing the keyboard, it made me want to sing, like even just ad lib on the way he started, like, oh, that's so pretty. You give me like, I'm like, that's so pretty. And then people were enjoying, and then he was just explaining to me, you want to make, he explained to me a few different things, and I was like, wow, like it feels good to be in a situation and people are taking me serious, really breaking it down to me like, okay, so this with service, when we're doing praise, it's less about the performance and more about, he was just going into, it was just, I was really taking it all in because I was just thankful to finally, somebody else is going to think this is not a big deal, but that's why God appreciates me, because God knew I wouldn't be thinking, oh God, I got to sit up in a church and sing. Like, I trust God. I know this is a part of the plan. So this is a big deal for me. Whereas somebody else would be like, he acting like he just got up in TD Jakes' church. And if I was in Dallas, I will be up in his church. You can't hold me, devil. No, you can't. Because ultimately, I belong to the Father's sweetheart. What you stop what? Let's see. That's true. You never, you know what? You're right, and you're right. You never know. I trust God, and I'm just gonna allow Him to. I'm not gonna, outside of that one idea that He made it so obvious. That's what He wanted me to tell them, because it made too much sense. But other than that, I'm not. My only goal is I want to do my best. Do my best. I want to, and that's what I was saying to them. I said, you let me know what the church needs, and then I'll do what I can do to make that happen. So far as what's in my wheelhouse, my department. You know what I'm saying? I said, I have an audience. I can at least guarantee, especially when service actually starts. I feel like that would be, especially if when they click on, they saying it's a real thing going on here. We could probably get about at least 100 girls up in here. And 100 girls in that church would, to me, so I'm like, just even if it's online, just in my mind, I imagine it like, imagine those seats are full. So it still is growth, even if it starts online. And then we have to, I think we should even, here's what I'm thinking. He, I'm even thinking we do some, I was looking at the area around. I saw they have a parking lot. Why don't we do a church revival, since the neighborhood, and not only that, this neighborhood needs help. This neighborhood have drug addicts. And even as I was standing outside, you know, hold on, where is those vape sets that I just had? Because this one is fixing to die. And this one, okay. And this one's probably gonna run out soon. Let me put my phone to the charger also. Okay. Excuse me, sweetheart. Okay. Ay, caramba. Okay. So I'm saying, okay, why don't we as the church throw a bake sale for the community, but how we get them in is with the concert. So you come to the concert, you support the concert by buying the goods, buying cupcakes, buying fish, fried catfish, plate, getting you a rib, whatever the thing is. We selling the food to generate income for the church. We're feeding the community. You know what I'm saying? And how we got their attention was through the music. You know what I'm saying? So we go out there, we got the food smelling good, the music, we praising God. And I'm telling you, I believe we're gonna end up getting people coming up in there. It's just, I don't have a doubt. Like, as long as they trust me, because I know that I know I can trust me because God trusts me. And so therefore, if God believes in me, then that means when I put the thing to them, I know it can be done, because God wouldn't have told me if it couldn't have been done. So when I told me I did, he was like, oh my God, that's a great idea. He loved it. In my mind, I felt like I knew he would, but you don't know until you know. So he was like, yes. He was like, wow, that's so awesome. I'm like, yeah, that's what God told me. So that I started to text you in the morning. I said, but instead I went live because I had to tell someone. He started laughing. I said, yeah, because as soon as it hit me, I started to text you the whole idea. I said, no, I always talk to him in person, face to face, so I don't like freak him out before he even gets here. Like, here this person is being too much already. So I was like, let me first let them hear me sing, and then, or at least see me. Then I will kick that off. So when he saw me, the energy was good. And then right away, as soon as I got in the car, we started driving a little bit. I was like, I got to tell you what God told me. And I told him the idea. And when I told him, he loved it. And then, it was just my passion behind it. That's what made him ask me, what made you like this? What made you want to serve God like this passionately? And I just was explaining to him about a little bit about my background and all that other stuff. And yeah, so it couldn't have gone any better. And it just felt nice to be. And then for Bible study, they had like Zoom too, for people on the Zoom to listen. And at the end, what did he call it? Does anybody want to? Was it reflection? I forget what he called it, but it was just nice. I think this is gonna be good for me, and I think I can do good for other people. So this is what I'm doing. This is what especially not once God makes it clear to me this is what He wants. It's really a very easy conversation, but I can't wait to get started. When I get off from here, I'm gonna start looking into these songs, because I do. The good thing about them, he said something to me that helped me. He was like, the songs are pretty simple. They're simple so that we can bring the congregation in to sing them with us. So when I look at it in that way, I break it down differently, because at first I was looking at all these words and I'm like, that's when my ADHD, it's like, it's weird, because why didn't I just see that these songs are simple just looking at it? But once he said it, then I looked at it again and I was like, you're right, it is. So that's gonna, inshallah, help me to lock it in. I just want to do a good job for God. And, they gave me a chance, and I want to make sure I do a good job for them, God's people. It's really simple. I'm not asking for much. I just want to do God's work and keep it simple, keep it moving. So yeah, I knew I had come on last night, technically this morning, to talk about it, but I wanted to come back to let you know everything went awesome. I'll do a little bit more rehearsing. Then I'll probably take a nap because honestly, my phone will by the charger. I'll check that in a second. I'm exhausted, but I'm so happy. And when the attorney, inshallah, calls me, then I'll feel even more, especially once I fill them in, and and I can see that they're confident. Then I really, what? Who the fuck is this? What is this? Oh, hold on. Let me make sure before I say. I don't know who is this. Unknown caller. Who is this? Oh. Oh. Yeah. Okay. I'm good for right now. Anyway. So yeah. You said keep that in mind. Don't get distracted. Right. I agree. And that's where I'm at with it. I think where I'm at with it right now is just taking my time and just letting God, again, I know that if I sit, I'm sure God will reveal something, but honestly, he doesn't need to because I trust him. I don't need him to give me on certain things. Those gems can give you a sense of calm, and that is true. But right now, I'm feeling more like I don't know that I feel the need to ask him for that sign because I trust him. Like it's like, you know what? You put this together so perfectly. I think I'm kind of tired of thinking up new questions for you when ultimately you're going to give me an answer and it's going to be the right answer, but it's not going to come the way I saw it exactly. So just let God do it. It's okay. You said you thought it was your phone? No, it was me. It was me. Oh, God is good. What should I do first? Because now I'm feeling tired. Now that I'm sitting here, had some food. Like, do I want it? Rehearsal is so fun. I love rehearsal. And it was just funny because when you're rehearsing, anyway, it's like I'm living in, it's so funny how what kind of person am I? I feel like someone's gonna think, oh, you living in a dream. You singing in a church that is not even a big church. I feel like somebody's gonna try to look at it that way. But who cares? I feel like honestly, I'm tired of how someone's gonna look. Someone's gonna always look at it some way. Who cares? Mm. Mirror, yes, agreed. I was trying to figure that out because that's what I'm saying. They got me plugged into it's not a Discord, but it's something like that. I don't know what you want to call this, but they got me tied into something. And it's like I'm plugged into all the songs and what songs we're gonna be using for service. I think did he say we're gonna be doing 11 songs? I think he did. And if he did, one thing I was glad that he said is that we get to have like, so we can have our lyrics in front of us. Cause y'all know how I am with lyrics. I'm thinking 11 songs, girl. It's not the singing that's the concern. It's the learning the songs. I like to be professional. And 11 songs from now till Friday, girl. But you know, he said I'd be to your songs created by. I told them that. I'm like, I write and in all honesty, how I am with my inspiration, I feel like especially once I officially get this, I gotta wait for them to call me, but still an attorney who is competent, who can really look at this and know what they're looking at, then I'll be even better. I feel like I may even, when I'm inspired, that's the blessing in the ADHD. See, in other areas, it damages my life, but then in this way, it's like, okay. And it's not like they're just sloppy songs coming together. They're good. Like, they're songs from God, so they're good. But I feel like I could write probably a whole gospel album the moment that all this stuff in my house is over. Like, or even, I would even say, even when I get the attorney and he's giving me confidence, like, okay, I feel like you need to be my level of confidence, but just with the credentials to do what you're doing. Like, you need to be confident, but you need to be smart. And then you need to have the credentials to file properly and know what you're talking. Excuse me. Excuse me. Let me tell you one more quick thing with the fraudulency of PHH Mortgage Services. This just hit me. So I don't know why God, see, this is how you know it's God, because it just came to me. I'm like, something tells me that address this lady gave me for this P.O. box is wrong. It's not that it's wrong, but it's just telling me this is not the address where a lawsuit would go to serve someone. It just seems wrong. Maybe not, but it just feels wrong. So then I'm like, okay, what address would you sue? It came to me out of the blue. What address? How do you sue a corporation? What is the address, or some kind of way I asked that question? And then they said there's a word for it. It's a whole other address. There's a whole word for it. A registered something, registered agent. It's like there's a whole other address. And then anyway, I ended up punching in their name, PHH Mortgage Registered Agent. And then it brought me to the registered agent, and that address was not the address what the lady gave me with regards to a lawsuit. And that address, the registered agent, that's literally to deal with lawsuits. That's the point. Their registered agent is the one who collects all that to serve them. So you send it to them, and then the registered agent sends it to the corporation. It's just crazy to me that I had to find that out on my own when I asked this lady straight out and flat out what address is the address to serve you all. She gonna give me some bullshit, some BS address that she knew was not where you would send it. So if I sent it there, it would be like, girl, you're like on purpose trying to make me not like sabotage. So then I would have filed it and then it was just got rejected or something, or it just not like it would have been a problem. You see what I'm saying? Let me stop cussing. I'm trying to do better. Because I say that I can't cuss ever, but just, maybe because it's still so close to Ramadan. Even though it's been about 13 days. I can't believe it. You said, it's your story and it'll help someone else. Alhamdulillah. That's another part of what keeps me going, because if it's not to help someone, what is it for, ultimately? That's what I was telling the pastor. I'm like, I believe that God put me here. It's not to punish me. It was to make me an example in a good way, to show what God can do and how he can turn it around. Because I'm here, even though people went out of their way to try to destroy me. This is just true. This is not me making it up or paranoia. It's a fact. And on every level, sabotage from my family, sabotage from my career, sabotage from friends, sabotage around my house. It was like every area of my life, attacking my mom. It was just every area of my life was under attack. And so now when I'm sitting here and it's like, I'm really seeing this thing come together, like, it's like, oh, I want to bring that neighborhood up too, clean up that neighborhood a little bit. That would be a hard thing to do. I don't even know what would we begin. Maybe just changing the environment. I think by us doing these outdoor revivals, and then we do some of them outside to get people even just excited. They enjoy the music, but then when they come in, you know what I'm saying? It's like, meaning like on a different day they come in and they get the praising and all that, but then they stay for the message. Like, I'm trying to set this up for them to where we can drive people into the church, into their church. You know what I'm saying? And they seem very inclusive. So, because I was, as you can see, I was there, and being me, how I sing. I just can't believe how well that went. It went really well. And now I gotta learn all these new songs and figure out what's up with that. I don't care about any other channels. And anybody that mentions any other channel with respect to a troll channel, I'm blocking you just by default. And if you want to take that personal, that's okay too. But I'm warning you now. I don't care. I have bigger fish to fry. And if it's not you reporting something that is of benefit to me, don't report it. Otherwise, I'm going to look at you sideways. Don't bring anything else to me about any troll channels. And that's anyone. You're on notice. I don't want to hear anything about it. I have too much on my plate. So don't come bringing no additional, like, what do you want me to do about it? What, do you want me to take that on as well? Or are you going to do something about it? Like, what are you telling me for? You don't think I have enough to deal with? I just sat up here and told you I have 11 songs to learn. And now what? You want me thinking about that for what? To what benefit? So don't do it again. Thank you. But anyway, I got to get ready to rehearse. I just wanted to give you all the good news because I'm tired, but this went great. This went great. And I just want to make sure I do a good job for God, for y'all, for my mom, for the congregation. Like, I'm taking this serious and I'm not thinking of it as a downgrade. It's not a downgrade. Anything that God has me to, especially when it's to worship him, like in that way, how is that a downgrade? It was just like, when that person was making it into a joke, like, oh, going into gospel music as if that's a negative thing. I'm like, am I missing something here? I don't really understand what the shade is ultimately. But that's a person who would say that to me is a person who God couldn't trust. Because why? That thinking is the thinking of a person who is a material minded person. The point is, I'm living my dream. I'm singing, using my talents in front of an audience of God's people, trying to encourage. Like, I'm so, and if you know that I can sit on a computer and do the things that I'm doing, why would that be bad? Because I sing for my neighbors for free, right in front of my house. So you don't think that you don't think that going into an actual building where people are coming to that building and expecting to hear me sing and to get the word is a step above me just bringing my microphone and amp outside? So I don't see how people made it seem like it was negative. Thank you, Danica. You be safe out there if you're going to be driving around or whatever you're going to be doing, sweetheart. Thank you, Nathan. Thank you all to all my true supporters out there, man. I love y'all. And I know that y'all are out there. Like I said, I'm entering in April was my 17th anniversary on YouTube. 17 years, that's half my life. I've given enough to this platform. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, we'll still be, but I'm not on here actively trying to like, oh, God is going to figure out how to transport me from this location to that location. I'm not trying to be a YouTube star girl. I've already done that. And if in fact I was trying to do that, there's a formula. That's corny as all hell, but there is a formula. But I'm me. I don't, sweetheart, I make trends. Even though these girls don't credit me to where they got there, that's irrelevant. We'll see once I have my own space to do what I need to do. If the girls can say, that seems familiar, like I heard it before, because you did. From a girl who took it from me when she heard it from me in 2008. It's irrelevant because when you're a creator, a real visionary girl, you can come up with this stuff off the top of your head by God's grace. So it's just annoying sometimes, especially when you feel like, what? But then again, it's like, am I really mad when I have music in my hand to people who are taking me serious and who also love God. So really, ultimately, no matter what nobody say, from my view, I'm winning. I'm singing for God and his people, using my talent to do something good and then using like I am happy about this. I really am. It's like I kept saying to them, I know they were like, oh my God, this person seems so enthusiastic because you don't know my life. You don't know how much I've been waiting to finally serve God's people. I didn't know it was gonna come like this. But far be it from me to explain to God how it has to come. Once I know, I'm with it. Let me tell you. But I went to McDonald's. It was like 3 teenage girls. The one, I don't know if she was the youngest. I'm gonna just say she was the youngest, but the one girl who was kind of like the skinny one, she was one thing. But then you had the one, they were all pretty. But then you had the definitely the one, but then the other two were like too diva. And it was just so annoying because I'm like, you think you so cute, don't you? It's funny because I remember girls like you. It's just funny how she don't understand. I'm like, it's funny how life is gonna whoop your ass, and I can see that in advance. Because what I didn't like with this little bitch, and I'm calling her a little hoe because bitch, I don't like when people, I don't care who you are, I don't like disrespect. And I don't like when people disrespect service people for no reason. It's like, it's one thing when they coming at you with an attitude, then I can see you straightening her. But it was just the initial, I'm like, who's raising you? You think you so cute, you can just disrespect people? I can't wait for life to show you that that's actually wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't, she's talking about something. Why is there an extra chicken in here? And did I ask for an extra chicken? Why are you talking to this grown woman who could be your grandmother? This woman, I don't know how old, she was old. She's talking to her crazy. And I'm looking like, this little girl need her ass whooped. I'm not even gonna sit here and flex. She do. Then when the lady walked away to fix her order, she thought, what's gonna put me an extra chicken? And if you was smart, you dumb little hoe, you would have kept your mouth shut and had an extra piece of food. That guy was trying to bless your dumb chicken head ass with an extra chicken plate, but you was too dumb and trying to show your friends how you like to straighten people out. Yeah, I'm the queen bee. I told her I straightened her out. Girl, you look dumb to anybody with sense. And she thought because she came in there, and that's what I'm saying. She too grown. She coming in here with her outfit. She got on them, I don't know what you call them, pants where it's like spandex, but it's super tight. This is clearly a little girl. But she sat up in here looking like a whole grown woman with her butt all poked out and her hips and trying to on purpose make her legs look bold leg. I'm like, you are, girl. It's like, it was too adult and it was too nasty as far as her attitude, like, in her eyes. Because I'm looking at this little girl like, and then she got her lashes done. This is a kid, but she's sitting up here with her lashes. That's the problem. You too grown. With all this cascading cankalon, don't get me wrong. She had them locks, them little fake faux ones that everybody's getting. That's what I'm saying. These bitches don't even be thinking. Anyway, I'm not gonna go there. Let me let it go. Point is she's sitting up there with her little locks and her little kawaii shells, and you can see she's trying to set off an impression. But I'm like, even with the outfit, because she was a beautiful girl, that's not the issue. But I'm saying this to explain how she turned ugly to me. Is when you see her, you can see, oh, this is a beautiful little girl. But by the time she starts talking, you start to see the nightmare, the hellish nightmare she's going to grow into. Because I'm like, this is going to be someone who thinks the world, like, it was just too much. I'm like, yuck. Somebody gonna snatch this old cankalon through a fucking fire escape and take her out my house. Because I'm not going to keep going back and forth with this little girl. You know, sometimes you just gotta, I'm just kidding. But you know what I'm saying? But I'm not kidding, but I'm kidding about snatching her through fire escape. I'm just saying, I'm just saying, but I'm not joking about her nasty attitude and how she was talking to that woman with all of her. It was just, I'm actually making it sound better than what it was. Because there was some other things that's another part. And I was glad when she got it wrong. Because at first, the person who made the order did get it wrong. And she thought she was straightening out the old lady. Like, yeah, and all this roll of the eyes. So instead of her clocking it the first time when the lady was in front of her face, when the lady came back, she said, and I need a sweet tea. This is not a sweet tea. She was like, oh, it's a, whatever it was. She was like, oh, I thought it's a mango tea. I don't know what it was. Mango lemonade tea. I don't know. It was some other thing. Because you could see how it was mixed. It was tea, but it was mixed in with something. I didn't ask for that. I asked for sweet tea. She was like, oh. So she pulled off the receipt from the bag and she turned it and it said raspberry tea or whatever the thing was. How dumb did this little girl look after all of that? Especially when, because she was on a roll for a second there when it actually was wrong. Because at first the lady did put some extra chicken in there and, with some things wrong with the order. But it made me feel so good when she thought she had it going on. And then when she got it wrong, it had to fix her face because now you were already doing too much, but now it's like, oh, and I need my sweet tea. Well, but I thought it was a raspberry or whatever. Well, no, I didn't ask for that. I didn't order. This little girl, I'm like, what is all this head and all of this weed flying around? Like, you think you're talking to, you don't need to talk like that, especially when she's not coming at you like that. It was just too much. So she pulled, like I said, it just made me feel good for her. Because I didn't like seeing this little girl like really trying to like school someone so disrespectfully. It's one thing. Age don't matter when the person is wrong. So if an older person is wrong and you're younger than them and they wrong and they out of pocket, it don't matter about age. You can straighten them. Vice versa. It don't matter about if the child's wrong and you're older and they're wrong, you can straighten them. But in this instance, for the level that she was coming at it, it wasn't that deep. I'm like, you just want to impress your girlfriends. Make them think that, yeah, see, that's why I'm the queen, because I go to McDonald's and I handle business. Yeah. I go to McDonald's and I wreck shop. Because when I go to McDonald's, these girls know, do not mess up her order because she's going to let you know about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what she's thinking. How cool of her. Meanwhile, anybody with a brain who is trying to do something real in life, who is an adult and know about the real world. Because when you got into the real world, bitch, it ain't going to be about chicken nuggets and an extra chicken sandwich. You better enjoy it, sweetheart, while you up here trying to masquerade around like you an adult girl. You may as well stay a child while you can. Because all you seeing is what it looked like when you don't have to be with your parents, sweetheart. But when you leave your parents, you got to pay your own bills. You don't know that yet. Because you so, oh, look at her. You could just tell what they told her all her life. Oh, she's so this, she's so that. Really, she was pretty. It was just her attitude make her ugly. How she was make her ugly. Like, ugh. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the part I didn't get. I didn't understand complaining you got extra food. Okay. I'll be like, girl, you can pass that chicken sandwich along down here if you want to. But matter of fact, I'm like, so that's what I'm saying. So I just don't like stuff like that. And for what? It just wasn't worth it. Like, for what? What did she do for you to talk to her like that? I don't like seeing that. Even if the woman would have been younger and the older person would have had an attitude, then I actually would have been probably said something. Because it was just unnecessary. But with them being kids, I'm like, it says you have the right to refuse anybody's service. I think you need to employ that. If they want to come at you recklessly and then they acting like they can't just speak to you nicely to get the replacement, why don't you just hand her back her money and tell her to eat some other fucking place respectfully? See, that's what people say it's mean for me. But I feel like, no, I don't have to handle disrespect, and nobody should. I don't agree with that. And why is that wrong? I am so excited with this church thing, man. I cannot get over it. That's true, Mira. Because she thinking she gonna be too hot to trot forever. But okay. It was just like me thinking, ooh, life is gonna really show this little girl. Because you could feel it through her way, like, and then when she would say something, it would be the way how she would look at her friends, like, I told her, right? Like, as if it was like some critical thing that had happened. Yeah. And then she had said something like, why the fuck? Like, this is where I'm like, this little, ooh, somebody gonna get her ass. Because who does she think she is? Gonna say something. She said something to the effect of, why the fuck would she give me motherfucking chicken, an extra piece of chicken? Did I ask for that? Like, and then so that's why I loved it when the tea thing happened and she was like, no, I didn't ask for that. That's not what I ordered. And then when the receipt came, I just loved it. It was just that moment. It still didn't make up for what she had to go through with her before, but it was just that one little piece that got to show her. See, you give it an attitude and you're wrong. And now you look dumb because everybody's watching you. And now it turns out actually you didn't read the receipt. You know what I'm saying? It was just, I don't like stuff like that. So I like that. It was a small vindication, but it was something. For what she had to sit there and listen to this little bitch be up in her face about something. And then looking at her girlfriends like she thinks she's so cute. Like, that's ugly. Nobody likes that. That actually never been in style. Nobody ever liked it. Nobody ever thought it was cool to show up someplace where people are working hard and to give them a hard time. When was that ever in vogue? Ever. So it's like, okay, she'll find out. She'll find out when she got to work a job and somebody come to her place of business and start trying to wreck shop in her place of business. Then she'll understand. I don't like stuff like that. Because I feel even when I was her age, I was always respect. It's like, but then that's where my mother would say, quite dear, but everybody ain't you. You keep saying, I would do this, and I believe you. But what do they got to do with her not doing it or other people not doing it? And that's true. It's just frustrating to me because I know it can be done because I did it. It's like there was never, ever, there was never a point in my life. I never had a stage in my life where I was like, what's the word I'm looking for? Where I was like disrespectful of people. I fought people. I got into street fights. I done things, but that was to defend people. It was never like I was a bully. There was never a stage in my life. There's not a point where someone's gonna come and say, there would never come out a story ever, and I can guarantee it because I live my life. What you see is what you get. So it's never gonna come a time where someone's gonna say, "Oh my God, Quadir used to bully me, and he, girl, please." As soon as I hear that, she could just get the fuck out of my face because it's a liar. Bully you? How? I've never been a nasty person. I've never been mean. I can be mean when I need it, and I don't call it mean. It's me defending myself. So it's not really mean. It's just I'm not going to take your mess. But are you getting what I'm saying? It's what I'm saying is it's like, yeah, man. I'm like, no, girl. What it is you don't deserve to see that side of me. I have to protect myself against ghouls and goblins like you. I'm not gonna just lower my guard. But the point is, my natural default is to be kind and to be respectful. I would never dream of starting off disrespectful. I can't even imagine coming to someone just off the rip. Fuck out of here. I can't even think of it. Like, to be for real. Mean? Do that? No. Mm-mm. No. So you see what I'm saying? It's like we on the right path. But hopefully that little girl finds something because that was not cute. It just left a taste in my mouth. Like, what made her think she can talk to people like that? And it must be her parents telling her she's too cute. You can get whatever you want that make her think she can come throughout the world and handle people in such a way. But again, and that's another thing she said. Yeah, girl, I got time for this little girl. It was just the point. Like, people are not gonna say, "Oh, but you." Yeah, when I was a kid, I didn't do that to an elder or even just a regular adult. Like, I just didn't do it. Although there was this time I did throw a shoe at a teacher, but that wasn't because that would be considered disrespectful, but I did it. First of all, I was a kid. I must have been I was in Arizona, but I did it because I think I told this story before. I did it because my mom, it was this swing, and I'm not exactly sure what was the reason. Maybe the shirt was too big because my mom used to have to think, oh, get the uniform bigger so you can grow into it and then whatever. But the point is the shirt, and every year my mom would buy us 5 uniforms to be for the school week, and we. So anyway, I'm on the swing. And for whatever reason, you know how you swing and then you jump off the swing when you get to the high part? Well, when I would do that, for some reason my shirt would hook into the swing and it would split the sleeve of my shirt. So that happened the first time one day. Then on the second day, it happened again. It was just weird. It was like I jumped off the swing and it ripped my shirt again. So now that's 2 shirts. On that third shirt, my mom told me, Quadir, if you rip another shirt, I'm gonna beat you. Stop destroying your clothes. Why? What are you doing on that swing that will cause the sleeve to come off? So on that fourth day, I did it again. And the shirt ripped. And I was so scared because I believed my mom. And I knew that I was guilty because I was like, she specifically said, do not, number one, ride the swing normal like everybody else. And then number two, if I ripped my shirt, it was going to be consequences. And I did both the things she told me not to do. So now I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to, it's so noticeable. You can't pretend the sleeve is not ripped. It's damn near hanging off. Okay. So it's not one of them things like, oh, we're going to just pretend, put the book bag strap over it and then it won't be noticeable. No, because the sleeve is almost off your person. So there was this teacher, I almost said her real name. I don't know that it matters because there could be a million people with this name, but let's call her Monica. Miss Monica. And I remember her very well. I could see her face. And I remember her, one time I must have said something like, oh my God. And she got real upset me talking about something. Don't use God's name in vain. To me, even now, I don't think that that's using God's name in vain. The way I take it, at least, maybe it's because of my relationship with God. The way I view it is, if I say, oh my God, that's like, in my mind, I'm communicating with God, like saying, girl, can you believe this? That's not taking God in vain. Like if I was talking, if it was me doing it to my mom, I'd be like, mommy, girl, like that to me is the same equivalent. Like, to me, that is the equivalent of being like, oh my God. It's like if I was talking to a friend, like, girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's that energy. So to me, for her to say I was saying a negative, I even then and now I disagree. Like, how is that negative? What was negative is it's like, okay, if you would say it's negative, you can say that if you want to, but it's not me being negative about God. It's more like I'm venting my frustration to God about this. Like, God, do you see this mess? Oh my God. Like, it's more that. How's that negative? I had enough sense to tell her that then. I'm like, how's that wrong? But so Miss Monica came and had said something to me like, you need to come with me because you're going to timeout. Now, mind you, I'm thinking in my head, I got bigger fish to fry because I just disobeyed my mother and I was not supposed to do that. And so I don't really care what you talk about, Miss Monica. Now, it wasn't that I was trying to disrespect her. I was just under a lot of pressure because, mind you, my kid brain, I'm thinking, my mom is going to be so mad. Because now that's 4 shirts down. I only have 1 shirt left. And, oh my God. So Miss Monica was like, come with me. Come with me. Come. And I'm like, no, I'm not coming with you. So stop saying it respectfully. I really did tell her that. Like as a kid, maybe I used different words, but that I remember because I was up against my book bag. I was putting something. I was crying to myself about thinking about the situation with my mom. So now I'm like, girl, I don't even got time to hear you. I don't really care what my mom come above you, and I'm thinking about whatever consequence she talking about. Never mind your little timeout. That's how my mind was thinking. So when she came around, quad dare, and now she put more pressure on me. It was like I spazzed out on this lady. Because she wouldn't leave me alone. I kept telling her, leave me alone. Because I don't care about anything what you're saying. And she kept saying my name. Quiet, dear, quiet. And to a point, I was like, because she was not listening. And it felt like she was trying to get more in my face. And so I think what it was is she made it seem like she was going to grab me. Like, if you don't come with me now. So, honey, I went down and took my shoe off and slammed it. And I think it might have chipped barely her shoulder because she tried to get away from it. Because I was like, leave me alone. I'm not even kidding. So when I threw my shoe at her, that's when she went and got my mom. Miss Sabrina, girl, you need to come and get your son. I don't know what she told her because I didn't see that part, but I just know she went and got her. And then my mom, this was before they did the repair, like before they knocked down the school and built up the new one before, like the one that when I left the school that was there. This incident happened when the school, when it was the old school there. So when my mom, when she went and got my mom, wrong. She went and then she had someone else come back, and then that person brought me to my mom. When I came to my mom's classroom, this is the funny part. When she found out how distraught I was about what she said, like the idea that she was gonna be upset and that it would have consequences and all this other stuff, then she felt like I had already suffered enough. Like she literally didn't do anything to me because she was like, "Did you really throw a shoe at Miss Monica?" She thought it was funny. I'm gonna be real with you. She did. Like she couldn't believe I was really that upset about it. But then after that, I really didn't jump off the swing no more because then I was like, "Girl, fuck this swing." Especially since I got off without a punishment. Like my mom laughed it off after I not only ripped the shirt but threw a whole shoe at a teacher. I was like, I'm not gonna press my luck. You know, some people might have took it and been like, ooh, violence. Like they probably would have took it and ran off with it. But I was like, no, I was just thankful that she laughed it off. That I said, okay, girl, that I take that as a sign from God because the way I felt like the world was about to end, I'm like, girl, it's not even worth it to jump off a swing. What's the point? For all of what I endured for that experience, it just felt like, yeah, I think I'm good. Because it wasn't worth it. I was so upset because I just kept hearing her say, you better not get on that swing and jump off of it. Ride it regular and do not rip your shirt or you're going to have a problem. Okay? And then I literally going to turn around and do the exact opposite. And then on top of that, throw a shoe at an instructor. Ooh. I know Miss Monica probably thought, oh, Quadir is going to get it when his mama gets a hold of him. And she don't even know when my mom got me. And it's not that she thought it was funny she got hit with a shoe. No. It was that she couldn't believe I was so like falling out about it. Yes, I was because I was upset. But I know I told y'all about this story that one time where my dad was trying to beat me. But I think that these are the things that, for whatever reason, made my parents closer with me. There were other reasons, but things like that, like I can't say why, but I just felt like somehow that made my mom and me closer. I know that's gonna sound weird, like what you threw a shoe at a teacher because you thought, I don't know how. But anyway, so this one time my dad was trying to beat me, and he had this thick old leather belt. And I remember he came into my room for whatever, I can't remember what the reason for the beating was, but he was coming to beat me. And honey, I refused to let him beat me. We were fighting over that belt. And I remember he was trying to get me to release it. And I just remember I was like, I'm not, in my head, I'm like, I'm not going to let this belt go because I'm not going to let you hit me with this belt. And the next thing, like he was trying to get me to let it go. So I'm flying across the room because I'm not letting it go. Because I know once I let it go, his hand is free to do things with it. So it was like I got enough of my arm in there to where I was able to like kind of it was just a lot going on. And even when I was swinging, my arm would kind of slip out. Then I would catch it with my hand to where I never let the belt go. And for so long, and him trying to get me to release the belt just split in half. And when it split in half, he looked at it and he looked at me and then he started laughing like my mom when I threw this shoe at Miss Monica. And then I didn't get a beating. He probably took it on as the fact that you fought this hard against me, a kid, and somehow you wouldn't release this belt to the point that it split in half to where it's like, I can't even wear this belt anymore because it's like someone cut it in the middle. I mean, I don't know. I'm just imagining that's what he thought because I remember him looking at the belt and laughing, and then I didn't get beat. So, not to say there wasn't a good reason because I honestly don't remember what the reason was. I just remember the event of him taking that thick leather belt, thinking that he was going. It's one of them belts that when you do that thing to it, be like, "Mwah, mwah." Well, maybe not that sound, but that's more like a clown horn. I don't know what the fuck that was. Um, but the point, it's one of those belts that you can clap. I don't know what the sound is, but yeah, I don't believe in that. You're not about to. The only time I ever got a bad beating was when I was in, was it the Poconos? Um, which I deserve that one for the fact that, for the kids that were in my group, I was like the leader and I was the oldest one. So although I didn't do the damage, I was the one involved when the damage happened and got us put out of the resort. My mother came home with groceries and they said, "Girl, you need to be out of here in an hour." My mother said, "What? Yeah, your kids are damaging the property." And what it was is we was playing tag. And someone, I forget how it happened, but somebody pushed somebody by mistake and they end up falling through the whole screen door, child. So, child, then my folks say, "Girl, you gotta go." And so here it is. She took her time to go shopping, had a menu, what the kids were gonna have. She planned the whole vacation. And we're there for a day and we get thrown out. I don't blame her. I'm gonna be real with you. Um, and that was really the only time in my entire life my mom ever where we had that. And I know she felt off about it because I think she just let her anger get the best of her in that moment. Because it was just like, here it is. I think she probably was thinking, because she was the only adult and she took all of her nephews, all of the boys, and my niece, and it was a lot of people on that trip. And my mom brought it together by herself and was paying for it out of pocket. It was just a lot of things going on. So I think she probably was just frustrated. Like, I took the time to plan something nice for these kids. And I step away for a second. And when I come back, like, I think that would piss anybody off. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it was right, but, but child, she beat me up the stairs, child. I didn't mind though. Because the thing is, and when I say I didn't mind, what I just mean is I knew that was not really her. I understood. I was always a smart kid. It didn't make it right, but I knew that because my mom is a fighter too. See, when I was born, she had simmered down, but everybody got stories about my mom. Like, my sister told me one where she beat up this guy at the gas station. You know what I'm saying? Because he tried to take the gas out of her car. I mean, everybody got a story about. I've seen her, beat up my dad's now wife. I mean, it's all, but it's not because she was. I can't explain it. It's so funny how people can be like that. Like, a woman of God and truly that way. But my mother did not suffer fools. No. So, um, I was going somewhere with that. I'm really tired. I need to actually get ready because today is what? I gotta go. But I did want to like sit and chit chat for a minute. Before I go back to my evening, rehearse, take a nap, or go to bed because I don't know what time it is. Yeah, it's about my bedtime. We'll see. All right, family. Listen, I love you. Take care. Be easy. And keep an eye out for updates about Fridays. What do you? I'll learn all the names of things. It's just I forget. Praise. I forget the name. I think I forget. But I'll learn. This is just day one. Listen, I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for supporting me. I love you so much. And God willing, I'm going to see you all really soon. And I'm taking you babies out. All right. Bye, you guys. Come on.